So you need running back help heading into week 13 here. We got a bunch of options actually on the waiver wire this week. The first guy's Cam Akers, the Los Angeles Rams. He's a guy I've been talking about for weeks, and it looks like he's finally getting most of the run over there for the Rams. And Akers, another good game versus the San Francisco 49ers. He had in week 12 with 9 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown. He's available in 71% of leagues. This is the second week in a row now. He's led the backfield in touches as Akers, and he's a guy who should get most of the carries here. Henderson, he don't do much. Akers, I know he's a rookie, and his pass protection has been a problem. But still, this guy, he's making big plays. His explosive 61-yard run got this team back in the ball game, and then he finished off the drive pounding it into the end zone. So Akers, I think he's going to get the keys to the backfield heading into next week, because Henderson and Brown, they haven't done anything to distance themselves. And from the naked eye, you could just tell that Cam Akers is the best running back over there in Los Angeles, and it's week 13 coming up. It's time to start him. The second guy's Edo Smith of the Atlanta Falcons. Smith here, he played a good ball game. Everyone thought it was going to be a Brian Hill type of game with Todd Gurley out, but Edo Smith, 12 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. And he added 4 catches for 10 yards in this one for a nice 17.5-point ball game. So Smith, he looked like the back that's going to get most of the carries in between the tackles. And also adding 4 catches as well helped in this game, where Brian Hill, he got 13 carries for 55 yards, but not even a catch, which was weird to me. So these guys, they had about a 50-50 split. Todd Gurley, he has the banged up knee, and you know that knee, he's got chronic problems the rest of his life with that knee. The knee will never be the same, but obviously Gurley, he's played through it his whole career, but we don't know when he's coming back. Smith, he's available in 99% of leagues. And after the performance here today, Smith, he's going to be like the guy that's going to get most of the touches, more than Hill, like I said. It was 50-50, but Smith, the better running back he looked, and even catching the ball out of the backfield he added. So go get Smith if we know Todd Gurley's out for an extended amount of time. The next guy is Frank Gore, the New York Jets. I would think the Jets would get away from him, but Adam Gase has a love affair with Frank Gore for whatever reason. I know he's a great running back in his career. I know he's done a lot in his career, and he's a good veteran presence. But Frank Gore here at 37 years old with a team that's 0-11 to get 18 carries, 74 yards, and 3 catches for 12 yards. Gore, he got the full workload. The Jets, they were still running the ball a lot when they were down 20 points in this game. This whole team and offense, it just don't make sense. But Gore's a starter in this league. P. Ryan, he's out at least 2 more weeks. He's on IR. So he's got to miss 2 more weeks, like I said. And Ty Johnson, he barely got any touches. So Frank Gore, he's the man over there in New York. He's going to get maybe 7-8 points at best. Today it was surprising to see him get 11 because he added the 3 catches. But like I said, Gore, he's available in 75% of leagues, and if you need a guy just for bench depth or number 2 to flex running back, if you got a lot of buys or injuries, whatever the deal is, you get Gore. Next week he's got a good matchup versus Vegas, who gives up the 3rd most fantasy points to running backs. But we'll see what happens with that. But Frank Gore, go get him, because he's getting work, and it's hard to find running backs on the wire that are getting 18 carries. The 4th guy's Benny Snell of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game is going on Tuesday night, where Snell should be the starter, either him or Anthony McFarland in this game. And Snell, he's got scooped up in 29% of leagues already before Tuesday's game. But James Conner, his work was going down as it was before he tested positive, and going to sit this game out on Tuesday. So Snell, he's a guy I'm still looking to add even before this game, because say he has a big game in this one, I could see him and Conner share some work. So Benny Snell, he's out there still, even though getting added, like I said, in 30% of leagues. He's available in 65% of fantasy leagues. So go get Benny Snell, because if he has a breakout game, you're going to be not happy about it that you didn't go out there and get him in this one. So go get him. The 5th guy is Devonte Booker is Booker. He might be the starter soon here. We saw Josh Jacobs go down with a bad ankle injury at the end of that ball game. And John Gruden said we're going to have to go and see what his status is going to be Wednesday. So right now, Booker, he's a guy I'm going to take a flyer on unless we know Josh Jacobs is going to be all right. But anyway, Booker, he's available in 91% of leagues, and he's not a bad guy to plug and play for next week versus the New York Jets. So if word comes out that Jacobs is out for an extended period of time or even a week, Devonte Booker, he's a good ad, especially with the matchup he's got at the Jets. The next guy is Tony Pollard of the Dallas Cowboys. Pollard, the last few weeks, in my opinion, he's looked like the better and more explosive running back in that Dallas Cowboy backfield. On Thanksgiving versus Washington, he didn't do much though. 4 carries, 12 yards with 2 catches for 10 yards, but he still had more fantasy points than Zeke Elliott, believe it or not, where he only put up 4 here was Pollard. But Zeke Elliott, he got hurt at the end of that game. He came up holding that hamstring going to the sidelines. So we don't know his status, but that game's going to be pushed back anyway to Monday night next week after Baltimore's got to play on Tuesday. But Pollard's a guy I'm going to keep an eye on. This Cowboy team, the season's over for them, and they might try to reserve Zeke and keep him healthy for next year because this whole team's banged up as it is. Their whole offensive line's hurt. Zeke Elliott, like I said, he was limping off the field last week with the hamstring injury. We don't know his percentage, and this team's out of it. So if they bench Zeke or don't give him as many snaps, Tony Pollard's a decent guy to pick up and possibly play heading into Week 13. And the 7th and final guy I'm looking at on waivers this week's Jeffrey Wilson Jr. of the San Francisco 49ers. Him and Raheem Mostert came off IR for this ball game versus the Rams, and Wilson, he got a decent workload, 12 carries, 43 yards, and a fumble loss. But Wilson, he's available in 97% of leagues. But anyway, Wilson, it was good to see him back on the field. He had that breakout performance before he hurt his ankle in Week 7 versus New England, where he would have took that every down back role over there for San Francisco. We saw Jared McKinnon, he got mixed in as well in this ball game. So they used 3 running backs for the most part, but Wilson to get 12 carries. We only saw McKinnon get 3 with 2 catches, and Mostert, he had a touchdown early in this game, but he fumbled as well. So Wilson, he's available in 97% of leagues. Mostert, he got 16 carries, but he only out-touched Wilson by 3 carries. I think this is going to be a split backfield because Mostert in his short career as a starter, he just can't handle the full workload and he gets injured. So Jeffrey Wilson Jr., I think it's going to be a 60-40 split in Mostert's favor. But Wilson's a guy you should take a flyer on and add. So that's a few running backs I'm looking to add on the waiver wire heading into Week 13. So you need